And now it is time for our scripture reading. My scripture today is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 4. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not love in my heart, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and have all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not love in my heart, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not love in my heart, I gain nothing. Love is long-suffering and kind. Love does not envy. Love does not make a vain display of itself and does not boast. Thus ends the reading of our scripture, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 1 through 4. A few days ago, many of us celebrated Valentine's Day. And when we think of Valentine's Day, what first comes to mind is romantic love. Showing our partner or significant other how much we love them and how much they mean to us. Perhaps with roses, candy, a card, and candlelight dinner. And and a girl loves diamonds too. But a relationship is only one type of love. If we believe that love is limited to the love between two people, then we are trying to put love into a box. And we are limiting the power and the full spectrum of love. Our scripture today teaches us that if we have not love in our heart, we have nothing. It doesn't say that if we don't love another person, or that if we don't have a partner, then we have nothing. Instead, what it is saying, it's saying that love is who and what we are. It is speaking of the very core of our spirit, our true divine nature. And our true divine nature is that we are, above all things, divine love. It says we can have faith strong enough to move mountains, and we can have all the knowledge in the world. But if we don't have love within us, we're nothing. We can give all that we have to the poor. But if we don't have love, we gain nothing. If we give just to give, then there's no substance. If we are not living from a consciousness of love, then what good is all of the knowledge and all of the faith? Without realizing the love in us, we are like an empty vessel, sailing through the night aimlessly. Now, we learn that we are, and we believe that we are, created in the image and likeness of God. What is God? God is divine love, which means that as the expression of God, we too are divine love. When we strip away all the physical attributes of our persona, and when we look deeply within, we will realize and we will feel and experience our true divine nature. Now notice, I didn't say find. I chose the word realize. And why is that? It's because we don't have to find and we don't have to wait for divine love to come to us. It's already there. It's already there. It is only a matter of us realizing this and allowing it to express in us and through us. We can have all the toys and we can have all the power the world has to offer. But if we don't have love in our heart, we are like sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal, all show without substance. Without love in our heart, we will always be chasing that golden calf. Well, when I get this, or when I get that, I'll be happy. When I get the perfect job, I'll be happy. And surely, when I get that shiny new car or a bigger house, surely then I'll be happy. Things bring us short-term happiness. But what happens when the newness wears away? We are back to where we are. On the other hand, when our spirit is full of love, now we have tapped in to our unlimited source of happiness and joy. God is infinite. No boxes, no boundaries. And as we awaken the love of God within us and realize the greatest gift is to be love and to love ourselves, now we have unlocked the treasure chest, the treasure of unlimited and infinite joy. Instead of the outside world defining who and what we are defined by our spirit. And you will hear me sometimes refer to this as living from the inside outward. And what this means is that our spiritual self affects our physical self and how we experience life on a physical level, rather than the other way around. And it's important to recognize this distinction. When we live from the inside, we are living from the Spirit of God within us. And here, in this space, we are viewing life from the lens of divine love, being positive, seeing the good in all people, or the lesson that life has to bring us, making better choices that are in harmony with who we are, that bring us peace. When we experience spiritual joy, it is profound because it emanates from deep, deep, deep within us, from the very core of our being. At the other end of the spectrum is living from the physical world, from the outside in, believing that the physical world is what brings joy to our spiritual self. Now, the pitfall is that we don't have control of the outside world. And the physical pleasures can be short-lived. They can be taken away from us. Now, don't mistake me. I'm not saying we don't enjoy what we work for, because we do. But rather, what I'm saying is that these physical things, they are not the ingredients that make the batter of our cake. They are the decorative icing that makes life even sweeter. The batter is our spiritual bliss, experiencing this joy and love from within us. I've been going through some things lately at work, and I found myself getting caught up in everything going on around me. And then I paused. I sat here at my desk and I said, you need to step back. Step back and just say the serenity prayer. Why are you getting caught up in all of this? And then I reminded myself of who and what I am. A spiritual being having a human experience. My work is important to me, but it doesn't define who I am. And as I did this, as I changed my shift in attitude and went from outside to within, I could feel the energy and how I perceived the situation to begin to change. Reminding myself not to get caught up and instead focusing on what matters, my inner peace and bliss. Sometimes, most times, we can't control other people or what goes on in the outside world, but we do have control over what is happening within us, and that's what we can change. As I was walking last Sunday, which I often do after our services, I was walking thinking of my sermon, and it came to me, be true to thine own self. This is from Shakespeare's famous play, Hamlet. And as I walked, I began to contemplate, am I being true to myself? And am I living my authentic life? Am I living my life to the fullest? Or can I do things better? Can I be a better person? Do I love myself? And am I being true to who I am on a spiritual level? First and foremost, we have to be true to ourselves, to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to be our own authentic self. This means taking the time to feed our spirit. And in our meditation, we want to be honest with ourselves. We want to be willing to be vulnerable and peel beneath those outer layers that we have built up to protect ourselves, bearing our soul to God and contemplating if we are being the best that we can be. This means being honest and not pretending everything is okay when it's not. And being willing to make hard choices and changes. Is there an aspect of our life where we can make improvements? Do we love who we are? Are we kind to ourselves? Or could we be kinder and gentler and kinder to others? Being true to thine own self means we are realizing our true divine nature in both our spiritual and physical worlds, living with love in our heart and radiating this divine love in all we do, while at the same time playing our best game of life, seizing the opportunities when they come along, taking those chances, and not allowing fear to hold us back from attaining our dreams. If we make a mistake, it's okay. It's okay if we make a mistake, because we learn from that. We fail when we don't try. Failing is the mistake. I'm sorry, not failing. Not trying is the mistake. Give it a try. What's the worst thing that can happen? Taste it. Doesn't work. You let it go and you move on. Being true to thine own self is loving ourselves and embracing the divine love that lives within us. Being true to our spirit by giving it the freedom to fly and experience and tasting life. In 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 4, it says, "And do everything with love." Just about sums up our lesson today. Our spirit is love. It is who and it is what we are. It is how we think. It is a way of life. It is how we treat ourselves and how we treat others. Love is much bigger than one relationship. Love is how we live life. Whatever we do it from love with good intentions. It may not always be received that way, but when we do everything with love, we are being true to thine own self, true to our divine nature, the expression of God or divine love, expressing through this physical body. I encourage you this week, as you go through your day and week, to contemplate, am I being true to mine own self? Have I realized the fullness of the divine love that is within my soul? Living from a consciousness of love. And as you think about this, listen. Be honest. Be gentle with yourself and love who you are. And in your meditation, as we did this morning, visualize that spark of divine love in the center of your being. Visualize it becoming brighter and brighter, emanating the glow of the divine love in you, through you, and out into the world. And whatever you do everything with love. Blessings to you. Namaste.